Now, another perspective that the authors explored is when should we actually focus on ethics? So 23% of the participants said that the students need to learn a base understanding of computing skills before they can actually explore ethical issues. And that of those 23% of the participants, 62% of them said that they did not actually include ethics in their own course. So my guess is those kind of professors were teaching like CS 100 courses, like an intro to computer science. Here's the very basics that you need to learn. Now, in the professional development that I created, one of the things that we really were intentional with was trying to not create some overwhelm. So we didn't want to introduce like a new computing concept in addition to a new pedagogical concept simultaneously, because it would create some overwhelm with the teachers who were participating in the professional development. So what we'd often do is just focus on, we're going to model something without actually telling you why we're doing it this way, some pedagogical approaches, and we're going to introduce some of the computer science concepts and practices that you're going to need to be able to use to be able to create a particular project. After we have finished creating that project or getting the majority of the way through it, like to a point where, okay, they clearly understand this, maybe there's some more work on it, but they're good to go, then we would actually use the framework TPACK to unpack it. What was the technical logical knowledge that you needed to know? What was the pedagogical knowledge that you needed to know? And then what was the content knowledge that you needed to know? Be able to create that project. And so at that point, we would unpack, okay, well, did you notice that I used a different type of assessment this time? Let's talk about how I use this, when you might use it, etc. The same thing can apply for ethics. At what point do you introduce the concept and the ethical problem at the same time? Do you want them to focus on one or the other or simultaneously? There's no right or wrong answer that works for every scenario, so something that we as educators need to really think about. If you want to listen to the full episode of this podcast, check out episode 182 of the CSK8 podcast on any podcast platform you listen to.